Hello everyone, my name is Arohi and welcome to Pytorch for Deep Learning program. So in this course, I will guide you from the very basics to the advanced learning in Pytorch. You will dive into theory and hands-on coding to build a strong foundation. So let's start with the introduction of a Pytorch. So Pytorch is an open source deep learning framework that has gained significant popularity in the fields of artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning. It provides a range of tools and libraries for building, training and deploying neural networks. So Pytorch was developed by Facebook AI Research Lab and the development of Pytorch began around 2016 and the library was then open sourced in January 2017. So this PyTorch has been widely adopted across various industries. Let's look at some of the industries those are using PyTorch. Okay, starting with the birthplace of PyTorch, Facebook AI Research Lab, known as FAIR, continues to be a major contributor to the framework's development. And Uber, a leading player in transportation industry, has incorporated PyTorch into their AI lab. They are using this PyTorch for projects ranging from this self-driving cars to natural language processing. And then the Microsoft, a major player in the tech industry, has also embraced PyTorch for AI related research. And then Twitter uses PyTorch for machine learning, enhancing their recommendation systems and content analysis. So Apple is also chosen PyTorch for computer vision project. Now let's understand what is Tensor. So in PyTorch, Tensor is a basic building block. It is a multidimensional array like NumPy array. So Tensor can have different shapes and sizes. A tensor with the one dimension is like a line, a tensor with two dimension is like a table, and a tensor with three dimension is like a cube. So guys, now the question is, if we already have a NumPy array, then why we need a tensor? Okay, so let's see what is the difference between PyTorch tensor and NumPy array, why we should use a tensor. Okay, so the biggest difference between NumPy array and PyTorch tensor is that PyTorch tensor can run on either GPU or CPU, okay, which NumPy array lacks. And NumPy arrays are basically designed to work on CPU. They don't natively support GPU acceleration. And as you will see, like using a GPU with PyTorch is super easy and super fast. And if you do large computation, this is beneficial because it speeds up our things a lot. Okay. So now I will show you an example. Okay, I'll show you a practical example where we will use NumPy array and PyTorch tensor, and we will see to how NumPy array solve that problem and how PyTorch tensor solve the same problem, and what is the time difference between them, how fast PyTorch tensor is than NumPy array. Okay, so this is a practical example. So for that we need our environment ready. So guys, before moving to this practical example, now we will first install the Python, PyTorch and the other libraries which are required for this program, okay, for this course. Okay, so let's start with downloading a Python version. So you just type download Python over here and open this first official link, and here just go to the downloads. Okay, once you go to the downloads page, scroll down over here under this looking for specific release. Over here, so this version we are installing. Guys, you can install the latest version also, but I am using this version, and if you want to install the same version as mine, so you can click on this Python 3.11.6 and click on this download which is in front of it. You will be redirected to this page and scroll down, and under this files, okay, so I am working on a Windows machine. So I will use the installer which is suitable for my machine. As per your machine, you will pick the right one. If you're using Mac, so you will pick a this one, and if you're using Ubuntu system, then you will use a different one. Okay, so for me, I'm using this recommended one, Windows installer 64-bit. When you click on it, so it will get downloaded and you will see it in downloads. So here you can see this is the Python exe file I'm having. Now you will click on it and you will follow the on-screen instructions. You just need to click on next, next, next until you will see a prompt which will say setup has been successful. Okay, just click on it. So guys, in my case, I have already installed this Python, so that's why I got this screen. In your case, you will get this screen, and guys, here remember to check this, add this Python version to the path. Okay, so this is a mandatory step. You have to tick it, otherwise there is a manual process to add your Python to the environment variable. So we are clicking just here, just tick this, and after that just follow the on-screen instructions by just every time you just need to click on next button. So this is how you install the Python. So once you install the Python, just open command prompt, type cmd, and you will open a command prompt, and here check the Python version. So now you will see my Python version is 3.11.6, right? Now we have the Python installed. Now next step is to install Pytorch. So why we need Pytorch? Because we are learning how to perform deep learning program, how to do deep learning using Pytorch. So we need to install that particular library, Pytorch. Okay, so guys, before downloading this Pytorch or before installing the Pytorch, the important thing is, if you are using a PC or a laptop which have GPU, then make sure you have CUDA installed. Okay, because obviously if you have GPU in your machine, then you should use the power of that GPU to solve the problems, right? To compute, to do the computations. So if you have GPU, then you should have this CUDA installed if you want to use GPU while working with Pytorch. Okay, so if you are running on CPU, if you are solving, if you are working on the examples which I'm going to show you on CPU, then there is no need to install CUDA. CUDA is only if you want to use GPU. Okay, so you need to see, if you don't have CUDA, download it. If you have CUDA, just check the version of the CUDA, because while downloading the Pytorch, you will mention that this is the CUDA version I want to compile my Pytorch with. Okay, so in my case, I will show you the command. Okay, so let's say if we have this command, so what we are saying over here, we want to install Pytorch using the pip, and then the torch version is this, CUDA version is this. Okay, so I'm writing CUDA 11.7 over here. 117 means 11.7. So now suppose you don't have CUDA 11.7 in your PC and you are running this command, then you will get your Pytorch installed, but it will not compile with CUDA. And if it is not compiled with CUDA, then you can't use GPU. Okay, so check your CUDA version. As per the CUDA version, you will install the Pytorch version. Okay, so guys, before executing this command, I always recommend that create a separate environment and work under it. So now I will show you, after downloading this Python, how to create a separate environment using this Python, and then we will install all the required libraries inside that environment. Okay, so the first command is, we will write this thing. Okay, first guys, go to select a drive where you want to work. So I want to work in D drive, and in D drive I have a blank folder with this name. So if you want to create a folder with this name, you can create it. If you want to use some other name, you can use that as well. So this is my folder, this is a blank folder. So I am going to create my separate environment in this folder. Let me open and show you this folder. So this is the folder. See, under D drive I have this folder, and this folder is blank, and here we are going to work. Okay, now we will create a separate environment. First command is this py 3.11, and then I want to create a separate environment with this name. Okay, this is the environment name. So 3.11 means why I'm writing like this. So guys, I have different Python versions on my PC, so but I want to have this environment using Python 3.11, so that's why I've mentioned like this. And now you press the enter. Once you press the enter, you will see that you have a my venv folder over here, right? So and you'll open it, you will see the different folders inside it. So now after that, once you have this, go back, and here now we need to activate this environment. So just write my venv and then scripts and then activate and press enter. Now you can see here that environment is activated. Now once the environment is activated, now we will install the Pytorch. So the command which I am using is this. The command, so what I'm doing, Pytorch version this and CUDA version is this. So guys, how you will decide, how you will pick which command is correct for you, for that you can visit, just go here and just write download Pytorch. Just write download Pytorch and previous Pytorch versions, click on it. And here just scroll down, you will see that for Linux and Windows, if you are having CUDA 11.8 and if you are using Anaconda, then you can install this command. Okay, for CUDA 12.1 you can use this command. If you are working on CPU, then you can use this command. Okay, but in our case, what we are using, we are installing using pip. So here you can see the commands with pip. Okay, for CUDA 11.8, this is the pip command you can use. Okay, this will install the Pytorch compiled with CUDA. Okay, if you are working with CPU, guys, if you don't have GPU, then you will execute this command. Okay, and if you have CUDA 12.1, then you can use this command. So this is how you pick the command and then pick that put that command over here and then hit enter. The process will start. This will take few minutes. Okay, so now you can see Pytorch is successfully installed. Now let's verify if the installation is successful and it is compiled with CUDA or not. So for that, type Python and enter import torch and then torch dot underscore underscore version underscore underscore. You can see that Pytorch this version installed and it is compiled with CUDA. Now you just type Ctrl Z and then enter. You will be out from this shell. Okay, now the next thing is we will install Jupyter Notebook because we will execute all our examples on Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so just type pip install Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so by typing this, hit enter and it will take few more seconds and you will get Jupyter Notebook installed on your PC. Now Jupyter Notebook is already also installed. We'll open Jupyter Notebook and we will run the example which I've told you, the comparison between NumPy array and Tensor. Okay, Jupyter space notebook. This is how you will open a Jupyter Notebook. You will see that in your browser you will have this kind of screen and here we are. And now just go to new notebook and this is the kernel. Click on select and this is our example. Okay, so click on this untitled and you can write here like this, NumPy array versus Tensor. Okay, so this is the example we are going to do. So now here first we will import all the required module. What are the modules we want? NumPy, Pytorch and the time module we are using because we want to see how much time each module take to solve the same problem. Okay, so these are the important modules. Now first I'm showing you this. this. Here see, matrix size is 1000. This is the start time. Okay, so NumPy, and these few lines are for NumPy array. So what we are doing is, this is the start time, NP means NumPy, and this is the first matrix and this is the second matrix. What we are doing is 1000, and over here also 1000. This is the matrix 1 and this is the matrix 2, and we want to perform the matrix multiplication using NumPy. And in NumPy, if you want to perform matrix multiplication, we use np dot. Okay, and end time, and then we are subtracting start time from the end time, and you will get how much time NumPy take to solve it. Okay, and then hit enter. So this is what it takes. Now let's see how it works, how we solve the same, how we perform the same matrix multiplication using Tensor. Okay, so you can see start time torch, and here this is the first tensor, this is the second tensor, and the matrix size is same, this one 1000. And if CUDA is available, means if your machine have GPU, and then we are doing like this. Okay, and then this torch.mm means matrix multiplication. We want to perform matrix multiplication using torch, and this is the tensor 1 and this is the tensor 2, tensor 1, tensor 2. And then we are having a end time stored in this variable, and end time torch minus start time torch, you will get the time taken by Pytorch to perform this. And you can see that this Pytorch took this much of time and NumPy took this much time. And you can see that Pytorch processing is faster as compared to NumPy array. So guys, this is just a simple calculation. So when you'll work on deep learning program, and when there are lots of calculations over there, you will see the huge difference between this Pytorch tensor and NumPy array. But just to make you understand, I just picked this simple example just to make you understand that the tensor is faster as compared to NumPy array. And in Pytorch, this tensor is the basic building block, and in our next class we will learn more about this Pytorch tensor. So I hope this video is helpful, and all this code is there in the GitHub link. Visit that GitHub link, you can get that code and just try this example yourself. Okay, so thank you for watching.